Hey everyone, welcome to the Slash and Gash podcast with my co-host Will and myself, Frankie.
Hola.
What was that?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah, we are back. We are getting Doug back. Well, we
That
wish
was
we could
you
get
like
Doug
giving me
back.
some hangover references.
Yeah, but Doug's out of town. We can't get him back.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that, man. It's been a while.
Hangover 1 and 2, elite,
Mm. I
elite.
ain't seen Hangover 3 since we watched it in cinema.
You're not missing much there. Don't blame you.
Yeah,
It
honestly.
is a very even like if you wanted to watch all three, like when you've got when you when you commit to like watching a franchise because you just
Mm.
want to get through them all, but then you have to like oh man, it's like when you're watching the Halloween franchise and you're like oh man, I got to watch Halloween 5 now. I can't skip it. I can't because you have to do it. It's like you can't skip it, innit? You have to watch it. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
mandatory.
Hangover 3 is like that. But yeah, how are you doing, man? How's things? Been a while since we've been on
Good,
the
man.
pod.
Yeah, but it's been a good couple of weeks. I know we
Mm,
were going to do a Terrifier 3 review, or that was the plan, but we ended up not managing to go see it. We kind of got crossed over.
yeah.
So I've no idea if the film was good or bad. I heard mixed things, but obviously I didn't really do much Halloween either. Kind of just had a quiet night in with the missus, but
Did you know anyone like who went to watch it? Terrifier 3.
not personally. I saw a few things on Twitter, kind of like I saw a couple reviews, but there's a lot of those kind of like Terrifier bums on. They kind of proper like they'll proper suck it off. So obviously a lot of people were hyped, but then I heard a few things where it was a bit like just kind of like mindless violence for 2 hours. So
Oh.
again, it's kind of terrified when it is kind of mindless violence, so you can't really complain.
You know what though? I know obviously we did really try and go watch it, but obviously we just either schedules didn't match or like things either you got busy or I got busy and we just didn't. And then when we were free, like the times just became what people need to understand who are listening is what the cinema that we go to, they have good times for like the first week for horrors especially, and then the following week they'll put films like on the back shelf, like on the bottom shelf. So like Terrifier 3 went to like 9, 10, which like
Mm.
is isn't really convenient for me or Will because obviously we've got to be up early
It's
and it's just dead times and
yeah,
uh,
when it's like dead times and we
yeah.
run on kind of an early schedule. Uh,
Yeah. Even on like just it's just shit because we obviously wanted to watch it, but you know what I was gonna say in hindsight, like when you think about it now, in retrospect, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to watching it around Christmas time.
is that what you want to do?
I think I think me and you should like watch it on a stream once. Either like record it whilst we're watching it, or we should just do a watch along and then do our instant thoughts on it. Like I think because it's obviously centered around Christmas, or I'm not sure. But obviously, my man's playing a fucking Santa Claus in the film, and there's a
Mm.
lot of Christmas vibes in the film. So I believe it is set around Christmas. Um, but because it's obviously of them Christmas themes, I wouldn't mind watching it around Christmas, with you.
Well, there's not too many. There aren't really loads of like Christmas horrors, is there? I know we watched that Krampus years back,
Well put
and
it.
I
Yeah.
know there's a few slashes like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and stuff like that. But to be fair, it might be worth like a watch at Christmas time over Halloween.
Yeah, and, I think we should just like it might be a good opportunity just to watch it then, like, because it'll be close to the season to be jolly. You know what I mean? Uh, what's your, now we're on the topic of Christmas. What's your thoughts on Christmas? Big fan of Christmas?
But in general,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm not like the biggest. I don't know. It's one of them, man. It's not. I'm not a Grinch or anything or a Scrooge. It's just
Yeah.
obviously I'm not a little kid in it, so it's You know,
No,
it's
no, I
nice
get you. I get
family and
you.
all that jazz. But
I guess it's a bit like Eid, innit, for me. It's like, as you get older, Eid was a Eid. I'm not comparing them both, but like Eid, it was kind of like a thing that I looked forward to when I was a kid. Now, when fam remind me, like, it's next week, I'm like, what is it? Damn, I
yeah,
didn't
it just
realize.
comes around quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's fine. But yeah, if that's something you're down to do, bro, around Christmas time, I'm down.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd be game for that, man. I wouldn't mind it at all. But see, going back to that topic of like Halloween, did you watch like any horror films or anything?
yeah, I was just gonna say, so I actually, people might be like upset by hearing this, but I didn't manage to watch that many. I watched Army of Darkness on Halloween Eve. That was
Mm.
fun. That's just it's one of them proper goofy films that it's sick for what it is. You can just switch your brain off in it, like,
Mm.
and just watch it. Just what what you're gonna get from that in it. Especially if you've watched it loads of times. Ash just obviously going to another dimension and having to it's just funny as well, isn't it? It's just he's having to work his way out of there, and him not saying the right words at the start. You'll probably know them words, innit? That guy tells him to say properly. The guy
Oh,
with the big
Cloud
beard.
Over Hot Necktie.
Huh?
Cloud Over Hot Necktie. That one.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Damn. You see, I knew you'd remember it. He says
Well,
it. He didn't remember it, innit? He says the
yeah.
last thing wrong,
It's actually
and
on that topic, man. Like, Evil Dead is kind of like, especially the original, well, 2 and 3, kind of
yeah.
like Bruce Campbell at his like prime. They're some of my favorite movies. Loved them since I was a kid.
Mm.
Because I used to play back in the day on PS2. I used to play a Fistful of Boomstick, Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick, which was like it's an elite game, and it's so. And like when I was little, I used to like read all the comic books and all that.
Uh-huh. No, no, I know you're a big Evil Dead fan. To be fair, I think you got me into Evil Dead. Actually, I mean,
Mm.
you got me into a lot of horror films, especially Halloween. But Evil Dead, I think that's another one I credit you with. You got me into that, especially 2 and 3. I don't think you let me borrow them, but I think I watched them. I found a stream for them when we were kids, and like we watched them together. And then two's obviously it speaks for itself, and it's almost a remake of one, but just so much better, better acting, better story, uh, better quality writing.
Mm.
And 3, Army of Darkness, is just there's so much like quality dialogue in there. Like you've got your classic lines like "Yo, she bitch, let's go," or like "Shop smart, shop air smart," and then
Mhm.
you know,
Hail.
"Yeah, baby." You got that line. It's just it's just so cool in it because obviously Sam Raimi he's wrote it in a way where obviously he's used like real life characters from before. Obviously people are
Mm.
dead, but like he's people who obviously know of the history, like Lord Arthur and stuff. He's used people from that era, so he's done it in a very clever way. Like he goes back so far into the past that he has to. And then when they see the chainsaw and when they see the shotgun, they're all like, "Oh my god, the man of the future!" There's everything just like we'd be like that as well, innit? If like let's say some guy in fucking I don't know in 1500s, let's say me and you are in the 1500s, and some guy brings like a fucking TV and he's playing PS on it, we'd be like, "What the fuck is he doing? He's gonna bomb!" Oh my god, poison gas! You know what I mean? We'd just be like, "What the fuck's going on?" But yeah, I like that. I really like that film. But um, I didn't watch anything else. To be fair, I watched Screams 5, but that was mostly because it was on TV.
Mm.
And any film but obviously in the future we'll do an episode on Scream. But Scream 5 is not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite. But it's one of them which, when I watch it, it's watchable. Like I've got a lot of issues with it, but I think mostly because of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, it's decent because of them.
Scream
Um,
5 does the trick, man.
it's growing on me. when I watched it recently when I was on TV, it it's a tough one, man. It's growing on me, but then again, I don't know. Like, I think I enjoyed Scream 6. I've not watched Scream 6 since we watched it. I think it was
Mm.
last year or the year before. Um, but Scream 6, I enjoyed the kills more, but not the story. Scream 5, I enjoyed the story more, but not the kills.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if both of them switched up, then it'd be a sick film. But yeah. What about you though? Did you watch any? Did you manage to watch any horror films or?
Well, I've watched a fair few in October. Like,
Yeah.
I think like a couple of weeks before, I like watched Trick or Treat.
Mm.
Like the original House of Wax, well, not the original, but House of Wax,
Mm.
from like 2005. But I think actually Halloween week on Halloween night we watched Unfriended. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Skype.
that's Skype. That's weird.
Yeah, we watched
Yeah.
that, and then we did. I did watch Scream, but I fell asleep in it. Uh,
The first one.
yeah. I was just tired.
Oh
We were just
man.
watching it, and I just fell asleep.
Ah, fine.
Uh,
I'll let you go. I'll let you off for that.
but yeah, so I watched a fair few like coming up to it, but it was fun, man. It were a good time. Halloween was okay. It was more very quiet night. I had a few trick or treaters come, and then kind of just really like watched a
Yeah.
movie, went to bed.
Did you open the door for the trick or treaters though? That's the question.
A couple times.
Oh shit. What
I
did
said,
you
hell.
say? Like, give us a fucking treat, you bitch.
No, they just said half of them didn't even say trick or treat. You know these kids are like nowadays. I'm like,
What did they say? Oh god,
no,
I
they
want to
just
say
stood there
it.
and
I
went
can't even
hi.
say
He was like some dude knocked to the door and went hi.
it.
It's just one of them, man. But
Uh,
it were a good one. It were
At least
decent.
you got some. At least you got some, man. My bro, they wouldn't even. I don't want to go into it too much, but they wouldn't even dare come in my area. For reasons. You know what I mean? It's a shame though. It's a shame because people like me, obviously, I'd open the door. Do you know what I mean? They think that we wouldn't open, but then again, isn't there like a rule now where they only go to houses that are decorated? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And they're not going to see a fucking little pumpkin on the windowsill in the top bedroom corner, are they? So,
Nah, exactly.
nah, fair enough. That's good though. I like to hear that. I like to hear that the spirit of Halloween is still slightly alive, even though it's very on the edge now, isn't it? Would you in the UK especially? Like, I don't know what you think about that. Like, it's compared to where it was in it, like maybe 10, 20 years ago.
Mm.
It's
It,
not as
it's
big.
definitely less. Like we had a few this year around here.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, it was just kind of chill.
That's what you want in it, especially at our age now. Not obviously, even though we're not old, but um, I get what you mean. Like, you just want a nice chill night, couple of beers, watch crack on a Halloween or a Scream film, the classic. Even though we watch them all the time, but it's tradition, isn't it? Got to watch like one of Halloween's or Screams or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And then just have a bit. Carve a pumpkin, put a bit of a candle in it, put it in the corner, let it rot away. You know, spend some nice time with your significant other, and get a bit groovy if you need to, and and then November 1st hits you before you know it, and then if you haven't had too many beers, you will say the word Sarwin right, but if you've had too many beers, you might say Sam Hain, even though it's pronounced Sarwin. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
So yeah, it just
exactly.
depends how much you've drunk the night before. But yeah, Sam Hain came and well, Sarwin came and went really quick as well. And
Like a flash. I was gonna ask you. I don't know if obviously you're the guy for this, but is actually anything decent coming out for the rest of the year horror wise? Is anything we're
this
gonna be
year
able
for
to
the
check
for
out?
the rest of this year,
Yeah.
do you know what? I mean, you would have known about it if I would have told you about it, but like, doesn't I think now because studios try and get horror films out by early November if they can, innit? Um, from what I've seen, bro, everything that's coming out like good. There might be the odd horror film here and there, which is probably not even worth looking at, but like everything that's coming out good now, sadly, bro, is in 2025. Like January, like they've got Nosferatu. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be pretty
Wolfman.
good, I think.
Wolfman looks good as well.
Yeah, so you got some classics coming back in there. That's a bit. Didn't
You see the
expect
trailer for
that.
Wolfman?
Yeah, I thought it looks really good,
Yeah.
which I'm happy about. I do
Yeah, so
like
you
a lot
got.
of them. Eh?
I was saying we've got Wolfman, 17th of January, 2025,
Okay.
and then Nosferatu.
I
We
think that comes out
have
on Christmas, man.
no 3rd of January, 2025.
No, okay, fair.
Yeah, it would be weird if it came out around Christmas time. I
And if
wouldn't
it did
like it if
America,
it
it
did.
comes out on Christmas Day.
Really.
Yeah.
Either way, to answer your question though, like, yeah, nothing of note. But you never know, man. Do you know what it is with horror films? Like, obviously, I'll keep you updated. You know me; I'm always checking this shit on the regular. Like, but as far as I know right now, there's nothing really like. There's obviously Venom 3, but I don't know if that's not really horror in it. It's more
Mm.
uh comic book stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, man. I think a lot of that stuff's kind of fucking garbage, in all honesty.
you're right about Nosferatu. It's coming out in US on December 25th. So, listeners from the US, you're very lucky. You can have your turkey in the afternoon. You can open your presents in the morning. You can get a big stuffing of turkey in the afternoon. Get a right cook it with all the giblets, the penises and the vaginas, and then when you've got a bit of time, go in the evening and go watch Nosferatu on Christmas Day. Well, that's sick.
Yeah, some of them I
That's
couldn't
good, isn't
imagine
it?
going to the cinema on Christmas Day. I feel like that would be weird.
They don't even open it in here.
Nah, of course
Uh,
not.
they
Obviously, the States is a bit different, isn't it?
they open it over there, don't they?
Mm.
That's weird. They open it over there though. I wouldn't expect that.
Ah, it's America, isn't it?
Yeah, but Christmas is big over there as well. Massive.
Oh, no, but America's kind of one of them like 24-hour societies, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. You're right there. But yeah, over here it says actually it says New Year's Day. So yeah, January is going to be a good one for horrors. I think you know what it is. I, even though you said this once, isn't it? Like January is like that dump month for
Yeah,
horrors.
it's a dumping ground, isn't it? The studios just dump shit.
But I feel like these films will do well because they're big names.
I'll watch them. I'll
Mm,
definitely watch them.
yeah. Besides that, brother, not much else. Tony Todd passed away, ripped to a real
Oh,
one.
I saw that, man. Yeah, Candyman. Only 69.
You
Fucking
you
madness.
you love the original Candyman, innit?
Yeah, I really like the original. I think it's quite a spooky film. The remake was a piece of shit, man. You know what I mean? I won't wipe my ass with it, but the original is some like next level like spooky horror. That like it's not scary, it's just spooky. It's a bit weird, you know.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Yeah, Rip Man. Died. I mean, 69 is not young, but it's not old. Old. Not sure if he died of an illness or something, but yeah, um, it's just sad, isn't it? Because like another great actor gone. I know he wasn't like doing much nowadays, but it's like we lost Carl Weathers this year as well. Or was
Mm.
that last year? It
That was
was this year, I
last
think,
year, I
wasn't it?
think.
Carl Weathers. Last year, shit, man. Damn. What the fuck? Well, I can't keep up, man. Yeah. Besides that, man, not much else is happening. Let's see. You been playing any games?
Nah, dog. I've been on the PS really. I need to kind of jump on that again. Just never get a chance. I'm not as much of a gamer anymore. But I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll play a bit of
No,
DVD.
totally. I get you, man.
My only game I really play nowadays is Dead by Daylight. I'll sometimes play it with the missus. I'll play it with you in it. So it's
Yeah.
it's kind of
Well,
whatever.
there was some other news. There was some other news which it pissed me off when I read it, and I'm pretty sure I sent you it and it pissed you off. Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, she said that she didn't say she's gonna be back in any Halloween film per se, but she said never say never. And honestly, when I saw that, I'm like, fucking hell, just piss off already. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we don't need Jamie Lee Curtis back,
Like,
man. We just
we love you. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we love you for what you did in H1978. You know, we do. We really do. Like, we love you for that. True Lies. True Lies. We love you for True Lies. But we don't need you anymore. Like, I know it sounds harsh, but we don't need you anymore. Like, bro, they could easily recast Scout Taylor Compton, whatever they're doing,
the thing is,
and
but we
I'd be
don't
fine
need
with
this
it.
current timeline. Like, how many times are we gonna have old ass Jamie Lee Curtis being chased by, geriatric Michael Myers? We need something fresh now, to be honest. We don't need 97-year-old Michael Myers in a wheelchair fucking chasing down old ass Jamie Lee Curtis. Just remake the fucking franchise, man.
It is
Fuck it.
fucking yeah, just like what's it called? Just start it from scratch again, innit? Do something original again.
Yeah, just
You
stop
know what I
wasting
mean?
time with that
With different
bullshit, man.
actors. Um, yeah. Another thing, I know it's been a while since this has come out now, but they're making Scary Movie 6, so that's coming out next year.
Yeah, that'll be good. I
And
think that'll be the Wayans brothers are back.
yeah, so I think that's the best news of the year, for me. Like, it's so weird, isn't it? Like, we dropped that Scary Movie episode, and 2-3 days later, they're saying like we're back. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not, but we'll take the credit. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I actually wanted to ask you something,
But
man. I
yeah,
want to try. Oh,
yeah, go on.
yeah. So I was just gonna ask. It was just on my mind the other day. Maybe this would be better for maybe an actual full episode. But it was just kind of on my on the brave on the brain waves. But a bit of a
Yeah.
deeper question in a sense. But what do you think is the reason really that people are so obsessed with horror, man? Like, I've been thinking about that, like the horror community. Obviously on Instagram and everything. There's a lot of people that's super dedicated to horror. We're big horror fans. And that's the question at heart, man. Why is horror such like an important genre to nowadays, or well, forever, man? Like, why are people so obsessed with it? What do you think it is?
I mean, I could save my thoughts for like an actual episode, or do you want me to tell you now?
Oh, tell me now, man. Maybe we'll touch on it in the future. But
I mean, my short answer is I feel like people really, really love horror, including myself, because when we watch horror films, it lets us it lets us see people in situations which, if you found yourself in, you wouldn't necessarily know how to react. So, for example, like let's say, like, you're getting chased by Michael, like when you're watching it on screen, it's different, isn't it? From, let's say, if it happened to you like in real life, like it gives you. I think horror movies in general, anyway, are sort of like a form of movies in general are obviously a form of escapism, but like horror movies is a different type of escapism. Like, I think a lot of people like to be scared. Not us. Like, nothing scares, isn't it? We've said this so many times. Like, nothing can scare us. Like, not anymore. Maybe when we were younger, but that's because we're a different kind of horror fan. We're not a better horror fan. We're not a worse horror fan. We're just a different kind of horror fan.
mm,
But like in terms of people, liking or loving horror. I just feel like remember we said this, in it. There's different types of horror fans, and there's the ones that are proper hardcore. Like, by the way, if you're listening, don't get upset. I'm not pointing at you. Yeah, you who's listening. I'm not I'm not saying you're wrong for being like this. I'm just saying in my opinion, there's these type of horror fans. So don't come at me. Anyway, having said that, there's the extreme horror fans, isn't it? You got your tier threes. Like Michael in DBD, when he gets on tier 3, he's like unstoppable. They're the ones who will watch anything. Like, they will watch the shittest horror films that are known to man because they are a horror fan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
No matter what film it is.
That used to be us.
Nah.
We used to watch some shit, man, in the cinema. Like every week, we'd go basically every 2 weeks to watch some bullshit.
No, but these ones will be them ones who like these type of horror fans are them ones. I'll come to us, don't get me wrong. These type of horror fans are them ones who like own physically media, like DVDs of the shittest horror films known to man. Like, they're them kind of fans. Then you've got your tier twos. I believe we're the tier twos. We love horror. We always will. But we're not going to be like hardcore. I don't know if it's because of an age thing or whether we just don't have the time. Mostly, I think it's the latter. Like we're very passionate about horror, but like we're not just going to watch horror films just because. Do you know what I mean? Just because we're horror fans. It's quality over quantity, innit, for us. And then you've got your tier ones, innit, who just like have your casual horror fans who know who Michael is, who know who Jason is, who know who Freddy is. But they won't they'll just watch the big franchises. But to answer your question though, like why do people watch horror films? Or why do people like horror? And I feel like it's a difficult question to answer because, like I said, there's 3 categories. So I feel like the extreme lot it's a combination of things, isn't it? When you think about it as well. Sometimes it's like it borders on escapism, but it's a tough one because like it lets you put yourself in a situation when you're watching it, like for example, Paranormal, Halloween. We want to find out what we do in that situation. So when we watch it, it's kind of like you're confirming to yourself, like, okay, now, so if I ever got into that situation, this is what I'd do differently. So you know when you're always watching a horror film and you're like, no, don't go in there, you bitch. No, don't do that. You're stupid. No, don't do that. It's like we always think we know better in it, but when we're actually in that situation, we might panic and actually do the complete opposite.
So you think you get fucked up if you're in a horror movie situation? You think you'd survive?
We'd survive because we'd follow. Me and you would survive because we'd follow Randy's rules on how to survive a horror movie.
I feel like I'd die, man.
Nah. What do you think, though? I really want to touch on this, to be fair. Like, more. I want to explore it more.
I think maybe do that for the next episode. We'll keep. Yeah. We'll get into a bit of a deeper discussion because I know this one's just a bit of a kind of a random like recap and catch up to touch base with the listeners and obviously with you because I haven't spoken to you properly in a couple of weeks. But on the shore, I think people. I don't know what it is. I think it's something ancient and primordial that kind of some kind of like I don't know, like some kind of genetic memory or it's not to sound fucking like I've been sniffing my own farts. But
you do that
just
anyway.
Like some ancient kind of like primordial memory of maybe when probably life back in the day, in it, you're a caveman, some big ass fucking tiger or monster's gonna like rip your dick off or whatever. Then that's probably what it is, and it kind of people still like that. They like that feeling, that adrenaline. And also
fear of the unknown.
the fear of the unknown. People like telling stories as well, and
Hmm.
that's what life is about, isn't it?
Storytelling.
Yeah. So cause I was just thinking about it, man. And just coming over Christmas, I was like, why do people love, like, why do we love this shit, man? Why do we love horror so much? Like, why do we love being scared or spooked out? Or even if you're like us and we don't get scared, we still like the kind of
You know,
iconography of
yeah.
horror. Innit? We love the pumpkins, the jack-o'-lanterns, Myers, the masks.
You know what it is as well. I think in terms of the Halloween, in terms of All Hallows Eve, the day itself. I think not to get too deep because I really do want to explore this on a different day. But in terms of Halloween, the day itself, for me personally, I don't know about everybody else. If you agree, let me know in the comments. I really look forward to it, like especially after like August hits. Like
Hmm.
it for me, I really look forward to not just Halloween the day, man. I look forward to autumn. I look forward to the season, like when it's autumn in it, when especially here, like you see the leaves outside, they're all turning brown, they're all falling off the tree. You step out your house and you can smell like someone burning fire, like not too far away. You can smell that crisp feeling in the air.
Hmm.
I think people really, especially when don't want to get too deep, like I said, but we'll explore it more in the next episode. But like in this life now, man, like I feel like when as you age, I don't know about you. I'm only talking about myself right now, but like as you age, like every day becomes more mundane, and more every day becomes a repetitive cycle.
Hmm.
So when you've got something to look forward to, like Halloween's always going to be there. It's been there for centuries, um, and it's the day itself is never going to go away. It's always going to be 31st of October. So hopefully, like God willing, everything, your health is all well. You get to look forward to that day in it. And with Halloween, obviously, comes the the background, everything that it holds. You know, all the history behind Halloween. There's such a big
Hmm.
history behind it, where how it originated, where it came from, how it started, and even though now I know now it's become more in 2024, it's become such a like marketing scheme in it for supermarkets, and that's fair in it. Companies are going to capitalize off big days. They've done that for years, but like people actually don't realize what Halloween actually is. Like people just think it's a day where kids dress up and go trick or treating around doors, but there's people don't understand where trick or treating actually came from. Like there's a big history behind it.
Yeah,
So like
definitely.
is when you delve into that sort of avenue of finding out, it's really fascinating. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of like the horror surrounding Halloween, and it's just that for me, it's the mystique surrounding Halloween. Like, yeah, 9 times out of 10, Halloween's gonna be the same. I'm gonna watch a film. I'm gonna, light a pumpkin, um, get psyched with you, watch my favorite horror films. But it's still that build up in it. It's that the build up towards the big day, so to speak. And there's always that mystique around it. Like, even now, man, like, even though I know October 31st has passed, like, the season is still pretty much alive. Like, it still feels October outside. It still smells like October outside. It's still,
Oh, it's just autumn, isn't it?
yeah. So, like, it's definitely a topic I want to explore. But um, what was he saying about, like, why people like to get scared? Fear of
Yeah,
the unknown.
fear of the unknown. People love that. People just love that, like the adrenaline. I think, don't they?
That's it, I think. Yeah.
Blame them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this is what I was saying. This is what I was trying to say. So because I can't speak for everyone, but the average guy on the street who's a horror fan, because most people's lives aren't like glamorous and and that's fine, isn't it? Not everyone has to be like some big shot. You know, if you're just living a decent life, as long as you're healthy, as long as um, you got a roof over your head, that's all you want. Um, but because everyone's life, is kind of like a repetitive cycle in it, especially at the moment. I don't know if it's you, but since the pandemic, it just feels like we've just become in some fucking movie. Like we've just been
Hmm.
in a movie. Like, how is it 2025 in 2 months, man? I can't fathom that. I don't. I
Yeah, I don't know if
can't.
that's the
I can't.
pandemic, mate. I just think time goes by fast.
Something's happened though. Honestly, something's happened. Like something's happened, man. I don't know what it is. Something's fucked up the time scale, the time balance, or whatever it's called. I don't know. But anyway, going back to what you were saying, like briefly, because our lives are very repetitive. Look, you wake up, you work, go gym, come home. You know, if you're lucky, you'll go on holidays.
Hmm.
Horror fans, especially like who lives that kind of lifestyle, we watch horror films. I believe it's not just a form of escapism for me, but it's to put yourself in them sort of shit situations to find out how you do it and differently.
Hmm.
That's why directors like James Wan, John Carpenter, Lee Winnell. I'd love to interview 'em because like people who direct horror films like consistently, there's I feel like there's a very big reason why they do. Like they've probably not told many people. It's either because they've experienced something or there's a it's because of how they've grown up, how they became fans of horror. I don't know. I just feel like there's every horror director has a different motive for directing horror films. I think
You need to
for
email them, man.
I think for James Wan, I think he said this. I've heard him say this. He always wanted to direct horror films in a way that would scare him as a kid. Do you know what I mean? So he's he ma-
Hmm.
he tries to make them like that, and he's obviously been doing a good job. I know he's not been doing much now, but he tries to make horror films in a way which he'd want to see and get shit scared. So I thought that was very interesting what you said there.
Yeah, we need to
Um,
give them an email, try get them on the show. We'll interview them.
yeah, hopefully once we get 100 subs, man, we can sell ourselves like the local streetwalker and be like, James, please, creepy.
Fuck's sake.
What's his name
Fuck
on
it.
What's his name on Insta? Creepy Pasta or something like that. No, not Creepy
Creepy
Pasta.
puppet.
Creepy Puppy. Creepy Puppy. Big fans. Big fans, bro. Big fans. Me and you. Come on, man. Jump on the pod. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. Give us a kiss. Come on. Give us a kiss.
Come on, give us a
Help
kiss.
me.
Okay. On that note, guys, we're gonna
Wait, wait, wait. Regina Hall, just going back to Scary Movie. See, she said that she's hopeful to return to the Scary Movie franchise.
Oh,
What's your thoughts?
she's coming back. I've forgotten her name now.
Regina Hall, Brenda.
Brenda. Yeah, I didn't know she was coming back. That's sick.
Well, it's not been confirmed, but it pretty much is confirmed.
I'll get the
Um,
original cast.
you do. It would be weird, isn't it, if they didn't have her. Or all right, if they brought her back, but not Anna Faris, how would you feel?
I think you get whoever you can. In all honesty,
I think you need Anna Faris more than Brenda, though. But you know what, bro?
probably.
Unpopular opinion: Brenda carried the Scary Movie franchise.
Brenda.
Mm.
Yeah, true.
I think if without her, some of the jokes wouldn't be as funny.
No, most definitely, especially like Scary Movie 3.
Yeah, yeah. And then two at the end when she's like hiding with Cindy and she's like trying to run away from Skeleton Man. Yeah.
A classic.
Yeah. It was fun to be the main host today for once, but Will be back as the main host. Any last thoughts, Willie G?
No, no. I think that's it's been a nice little recap. Nice to touch base. And maybe
Yeah,
next time we'll probably like maybe do a little bit longer on actually talk about maybe like the reasons for kind of like people liking horror. I think that'd be an interesting topic, especially if there's no good reviews, anything, no good films to review. But yeah, I think we'll probably try and touch base next week or the week after.
definitely.
So yeah, it's the same as always, guys. Comment, like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram /Gash Podcast. Uh, Bish bash bosh. Give that horror a watch.
I love that line. Yeah, big thanks to everyone who's listening, who's got this far. If you've got this far and you're still listening, what's wrong with you? What are you doing with your life? Why are you listening to us? No, I'm joking. Keep listening. Um, Subscribe, like Will said. It really helps the channel. So what me and Will we've decided is once we hit 100 subscribers, whenever that is, we will hopefully be jumping on more something like a video sort of podcast. So you'll be able to see what a good boy we've been. Well, behind the mask, anyway. Here's $1,000. Nah, yes. Follow the Instagram /Gash podcast. Some good shit on there if you haven't noticed already. Yeah, we'll be back very soon. We're going to be resuming on some more interesting topics. Maybe not like especially movie related, but topics that are like interesting in which are related to horror, like supernatural slashers. But like Will said, we'll definitely be exploring the what Will mentioned. Why people love horror films. I think that's a really good topic that we'll be doing in the next episode. But yeah, comment what you thought of this episode, what you want to see in the future of the podcast, whether you like us, whether you hate us, whether you find us indifferent. We welcome every opinion. Yeah, so we will see you guys and girls very soon. Stay spooky.